Hi, this is Mohan Gholak, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, Hirashugar Institute of Technology in Edsoshi, and today we are going to discuss one lab program from Computer Programming Lab, that is 18 CPL 27 of second semester. So the aim of this program is develop a program to compute sin of x using Taylor series approximation. Compare your result with the built-in library function. Print both the results with appropriate messages. So in your PUC or before that in high schools, you might have calculated the value of sin of x or something like sin theta, cos theta in that way. So here also we have to write a program to compute the value of sin of x. But see, at that time you were knowing the value, you used to remember the value, but here you have to calculate the value of sin of x, and to calculate the value of sin of x there is one particular formula that is given by a scientist, that is Taylor. It is called as Taylor series approximation, or it is also called as sin series. So here you have to write a program to compute the value of sin of x using the Taylor series approximation. And after this you have to compare your result with the built-in library function. You have to compare your result, means whatever the result you have calculated, whatever the value of sin of x you get after calculation, that you have to compare with the value you get from the built-in library function. So already you are aware of built-in library function. So in C there are some functions that are already available, you can directly use them. The best example is in quadratic equation program we have used a function sqrt to calculate the square root of the value, that is d. You wrote there as sqrt of d. So there you have to just call that sqrt of d, it will directly calculate the square root value of that value d. So there you have not written any function, you are just using that. In the same way in C we have a function to calculate the value of sin, that is if you want to calculate the value of sin of x, you have to just call sin of x. So it will calculate, it will display the value of sin of x. So here what you have to do is, by using Taylor series approximation you have to calculate sin of x. After you get the calculated value, you have to compare that result, whatever you have calculated, that you have to compare with the result you get from the built-in library function. Okay, and after that you have to print both the results with appropriate messages. So let us see how this can be done. So as I told you, here we will be using the Taylor series approximation. This is also called as sin series. So the sin series is a series which is used to find the value of sin of x. But there is one condition, that whenever you calculate the value of sin of x, so x is the angle in degree which is to be converted into the radian. Means here whenever you calculate the value of sin of x, the value of x should be in radians, not in degree, because already you know that the angle can be measured in the two units, it may be measured in degree or the radian, and we have the formula for conversion also, but usually we will be dealing with the angle in degrees. So that's why here also we write a program to convert to calculate the value of sin of a particular angle. We read the angle in degree and we have to convert that angle in degree into the radian, so that that value can be used for the sin of x. So you just remember, whenever we use Taylor series approximation or sin series for calculating sin of x, where x is an angle, the value of x, that is angle, should be in radian. You just remember this. So next we'll see what is this sin series, or what is this Taylor series approximation. So as we saw, it's a particular series, that's a formula which you can use for calculating sin of x, and the formula is as follows. So sin of x is equal to summation of x equal to 0 to infinity minus 1 raised to n x raised to 2n plus 1 divided by 2n plus 1 factorial. So when you expand this by substituting the value of x from 0 till the infinity, you will get the series in this way. So the sign of x becomes x minus x cube divided by 3 factorial plus x raised to 5 divided by 5 factorial minus x raised to 7 divided by 7 factorial plus so on. So here you have to observe the terms. So here the first term is x, second term is x cube divided by 3 factorial, third term is x raised to 5 divided by 5 factorial, fourth term is x raised to 7 divided by 7 factorial, and so on. After this also we have the next terms also. Okay, so here the first term is x, so this x can also be written as x raised to 1 divided by 1 factorial. Getting, x can be written as x raised to 1 is x divided by 1 factorial is 1. So x raised to 1 divided by 1 factorial. So in the same way here after this we have x raised to 3 divided by 3 factorial. Means here if you observe the terms of this particular series, so only the odd powered terms are available, even powered x terms are not available here. Okay, so that's why I told you this x can be written as x raised to 1. So it's a odd number. After that x square term is not there. So the next term is x cube. It's a odd term. So after that x4 is not there. The next is x raised to 5, odd term. After that x raised to 6 is not there, x raised to 7, odd term. After that x raised to 8 will not be there. Next term will be x raised to 9 and so on. So here after this is the upper part. After that in the denominator what we have, whatever the power of x is there, so its factorial is there in the denominator. So here x raised to 1 divided by 1 factorial, x raised to 3 here divided by 3 factorial, x raised to 5 divided by 5 factorial, whatever the power we have, so its factorial is there in the denominator. This is another one. So one more observation is, so whatever the sign is there, sign is going to change alternatively. For the first term it is plus, for the second term the sign is minus, for the third term it is plus, for the fourth term it is minus, for the fifth term it will be plus, for the sixth term it will be minus, and so on. Getting? So in this way you have to observe these particular terms so that you can write an equation or you can write a program to calculate this in C. So we'll see that how exactly the program can be written for this in C. Okay, so next we'll see one example for this. So here let us consider we want to calculate the value of sine of 30. So as I told you, to calculate the value of sine of x using Taylor series approximation, you have to convert the value degree angle in degree into the radian. So if the angle in degree is 30, if you convert this into radian, the value will be 0.52359 something. So here if you calculate, if you substitute this in the given equation, it is sine of x equal to, as per the discussion, it is x is this one minus x cube. What is the value of x? Raised to 3 divided by 3 factorial plus x raised to 5 divided by 5 factorial minus x raised to 7 divided by 7 factorial plus so on. So if you calculate the value of this, so the value of this is equal to 0.5. So if you want, you can compare, you can check the value of sine of 30 if you have the calculator. So there also you get the value 0.5. So here the calculated value and the actual value of sine of 30 is same. So that's why whenever we run our program, so there also we will observe, so only a slight difference will be there because we have to approximate some values, because see, here this series is going to continue until infinity. So we cannot consider all the terms till infinity. It is not at all possible to calculate this value. So that's why till some extent we will continue to consider, and after that the remaining terms will be having the negligible value. So that's why we will be discarding those. So that's why there will be slight variation between the calculated value and the actual value. So that we'll see next. So next we'll see the program. So this is a C program to compute the sine of x. Already we saw the aim. So here as usual the header files will be there at the beginning. So we use hash include stdio.h because we will be using the printf and scanf statements in our program, and after that we use one more header file, that is hash include math.h. Why math.h? Whenever you are using any inbuilt mathematical functions in your program, you have to include math.h. So you may be uh, remembering that you have already used this math.h in the program which you are written to calculate the roots of quadratic equation, because there we have used the square root function. So here also we have to compute the value of sin of x, and you have to compare that value and the computed value and the inbuilt value. So that's why we have to use math.h here also. So after this we have the main function. So it is void main, and after that here this is the variable declaration. So these are the different variables which we require for this particular program. So here it's a calculation part, we have to calculate the value. So to maintain the precision, so we'll consider all the variables are of type the float only. So here the variables are float, I, x, th, term, and sum is initialized to 0. So as and when we use these variables, I'll tell you the use of these. So after that the next we have one function, that is clear screen. So this is useful only on Windows machines. If you are running this program on Ubuntu, no need to use this clear screen. So this clear screen means whenever you run a particular program, so whatever the output you get, so the previous output will be cleared, means it is going to clear the screen before it displays the output of this program. So that's why it is used. So the input for this program is you have to read the angle. So to read the angle, first we display this message, that is printf enter the angle in degrees. So whenever this message is displayed on the screen, the user is going to enter the angle in degrees. So to read that we have the scanf. So scanf %f ampersand x. So whatever the angle he enters, so that is read into the variable x. Okay, and here the type of x is float, so that's why the format specifier is %f. Already this is known to you. So we know that in order to use the Taylor series approximation, the value of x should be in radian. So here you have read the value of x in degrees. So you have to convert this value of x, that is angle in degree, to radian, and for that we have a formula, that is if x is an angle in degree, to convert that into radian, the formula is x equal to x into 3.1452 divided by 180. So 3.1452 is nothing but 5. So the actual formula is x equal to x into 5 divided by 180. The 5 value is 3.1452. So as a result here before this the value of x is in degree, and after this the value of x will be in radian. Now we are free to use the Taylor series approximation to calculate the value of sin of x. So after this our actual code of program will start. So after this we'll initialize the temporary variable I with the value 1, and we initialize term equal to x and sum equal to x, because as we saw in the actual series that, so whenever you just consider this once again, so whenever you start calculating, the first term is x, and after that the next term is minus x cube divided by 3 factorial. So in our program also we have to, each time we have to generate a particular term, and we have to calculate the value of this term, and this should be added to the particular value, the old value. So that's why here we use these two variables. The first one is term. Term means each time it indicates a term. Term means this one, that is the first term is x, second term is minus x cube divided by 3 factorial, is plus x raised to 5 divided by 5 factorial, and so on. So each time you have to calculate the value of this term, and this should be added to the previous value. So that's why each time whenever you calculate the value of this term, so this is stored in a temporary variable sum, and after that in the next iteration whenever you calculate the value of term, this is added back to the previous variable, that is sum. So that we'll see in the program. So that's why we use these two variables, that is term and x. Hope you understood the use of these two variables, term and x. So this term equal to x is going to generate the first term. Okay, so after this we have to generate the subsequent terms also. So the next second term is minus x cube divided by 3 factorial. So how to generate that? So see again, these different terms are to be generated sequentially one after the other, and we have to consider only the odd powered x terms. This is to be continued until the value of a particular term is nearly equal to 0. So for that again we use a looping statement here. So I think you are aware of the different looping statements. So in C we have three looping statements, that is for loop, while loop and do loop, that is also called as do while loop. So here we use a do while loop as follows. So here do while loop, the difference between do while loop and while loop is, so in while loop first the condition is tested and after that the code is executed, but in do while loop first the code is executed and after that the condition is tested to check whether the code is to be executed for the next iteration or not. So here in this do while loop, so we have these three statements. The first one is I equal to I plus 2. So initially I equal to 1, and here to generate the next term we have to increment the value of I by 2, that is we have to add 2 to this I, that is I equal to I plus 2. Why? Because we have to consider only the odd powers of x, and you just remember this I indicates the power of x. So that's why for the first term is x, the power of x is 1, so that's why here I is equal to 1. To generate the next term it is x cube, so the power of I is power of x is 3, so that's why I equal to I plus 2. So I is 1, 1 plus 2 it becomes 3, so the value of I will become 3 here. So here we have to again calculate the value of term. So here term is equal to, so you just consider this formula, minus term. Minus term means the previous value of term, this is multiplied by x into x divided by I minus 1 into I. So let us consider what value it will generate. So here minus term is, what is the previous value of term is x, so it is minus x into x into x, so minus x into x into x, this becomes minus x cube. So this is the numerator of second term, that is minus x cube divided by I minus 1 into I. So I is here I equal to I plus 2, I was 1, now I is 3, so it is 3 multiplied by 3 minus 1, that is 2. So 3 into 2, it is like 3 into 2 into 1. 3 into 2 into 1 is 3 factorial. So it is minus x cube divided by 3 factorial. So as a result, by using this formula, we have generated the second term also. So all the way you have to find the value of this second term, and you have to add this to the variable, that is sum, because you have to find the sum of all the terms. So already you have added the value of x to this sum. So the second term is minus x cube divided by 3 factorial, that is generated by using this formula, and the value of that is present in the variable term. So that's why you have to add the value of term to the variable sum. So it becomes sum equal to sum plus term. Understood? So after this we have the end of this do while loop, and here we have the condition. So the condition is while, here abs is an absolute. Again it's a inbuilt library function in C, which is defined in the header file math.h. So absolute means if it is like using modulus operator, if the value is negative also it will take only the positive part of that. So it is each time whenever you calculate the value of term, so you have to check whether it is greater than some approximate value, that is 0.00005, because here if you consider the sine series, so all the terms are going to repeat until infinity. So here you cannot perform the computation till infinity, so that's why you have to continue the calculation until the value of this term is greater than this value, means until the value of the term becomes nearly equal to 0, you have to continue this one. Okay, so here we saw this for I equal to 3, so we will consider one more iteration. So here it will check the value of this, the term, let us consider it is not greater than, it is greater than this one. If it is greater than this one, again you have to, again the execution pointer will go to do, again it will start execution. So I was 3 previously, now I equal to I plus 2, so I is 3, 3 plus 2 it becomes 5, means I have to find the third term, it is x raised to 5 divided by 5 factorial, the symbol is plus here. So for that I equal to, I is 3, 3 plus 2 it becomes 5. So next term is term equal to minus term. What is the term here previously? So before this do we had term equal to x, but when we executed this second time, term is x cube minus x cube divided by 3 factorial. So that value is replaced here. It is minus x cube divided by 3 factorial. So here minus x cube, term value is minus x cube, minus of minus x cube, minus of minus it becomes plus. So it is x cube into x into x, x cube into x into x, it becomes x raised to 5 divided by, it is 3 factorial previously. Now here 3 plus 2 it becomes 5, I is 5 now. So 5 minus 1 it is 4 into 5. So here the value of term was x cube divided by 3 factorial. So it is 3 factorial multiplied by 4 into 5. So 3 factorial into 4 into 5, it is nothing but 5 factorial. So as a result, you are able to generate the third term here, that is x raised to 5 divided by 5 factorial, and the symbol is plus here. So the value of that is calculated and it is present here. So again as usual it is added to the previous value of sum. So again after this the condition is tested. So as soon as this condition is true, so this is going to repeat. When this condition becomes false, it will stop executing these particular statements. So as a result, this will continue to execute, and at the end the variable sum will hold the value of sin of x calculated using this Taylor series approximation. So as per the problem statement, we have to display both the values. We have to display the calculated value as well as the automatically computed value. So for that we have two printf statements here. The first one is printf the sin of x without using library function equal to %f. So without using library function means here this is the calculated value. So it is present in which variable? It is present in sum. So that's why equal to %f, it is replaced with the variable sum. So this is to display the calculated value. So after this another printf to display the actual the automatically computed value, that is the sin of x using library function equal to %f. Here we'll directly call the function sin of x as we called sqrt of d in case of quadratic equation. So here it is inbuilt library function that is available in C. No need to write any function for this. Understood? So this printf is going to display the calculated value, and this printf is going to display the value that is that you get by using the library function. So after this we have the getch. Again this is a function which is used only on Windows, that is Turbo C. If you are executing this program on Linux, that is Ubuntu, no need to add this line. Understood? So in this way you can write a C program to calculate the value of sin of x using the Taylor series approximation. So now let us run this program and let us see what output you will get for this. So as I told you, I am using Windows machine, so that's why I have installed Turbo C, and I will be executing this program on Turbo C. So if you have Windows, you can use the Turbo C. If you have Ubuntu, you can directly use the GCC. So whatever the program I explained, the same is here. So as this red font is not visible clearly, so that's why I explained the program there. So as it is, I have written the program here. So let us execute this program. So if I execute this program, so initially we'll get this prompt on the screen, that is it is asking enter the angle in degrees. So let us consider I will enter the angle in degree as 30. So if I hit enter, it will display the value. So you can see the output here. The sin of x without using library function is equal to 0.500193, and the second is the sin of x using library function equal to 0.500521. So you can observe only slight difference is there between the values, because here the first value, whatever the first result whatever we have got here, it is the calculated value and it is approximation, because we will not consider all the terms till infinity. We will consider the terms only till a particular value which is nearly equal to 0. So that's why there exists a difference between the two. So if you want, you can run this once again with some different value. So let us consider instead of 30, if I give the value 60, so the results are like this. So here also there is a slight difference between the results. So in this way you can write a program to calculate the value of sin of x using Taylor series approximation, and you can execute the same. Thank you.